Okay, whew. I don't even know, I guess, where to begin. I guess I just can't believe I'm doing this. Most of you, I think, know that my dad is a pastor. If not, well then, surprise, he's a pastor. And growing up as part of a pastoral family is very hard. And I just kind of want to open up about it and let you guys know so that you kind of understand why I'm crying right now. And just, it's not like, I ain't trying to be dramatic. But basically, my dad was called into the ministry probably like 9 years ago or so, and it was a complete shift. You know, you're a leader and you're supposed to hold up. I got my coffee because I need something to hold. So you are basically seen as a leader. Your whole family is. Because now you are in charge of helping to lead a congregation. So people are looking at you as an example. People are looking at your family as an example. And that leads to a lot of criticism as well. And I really wish that we would change that. Because I basically had to grow up constantly thinking about what others would think. And I am not at all upset about having grown up in a pastoral family. I find it to be a blessing. I myself am going into the ministry, and I learned a lot from it. The reason why so many pastors' kids are either like great or like super rebellious is because there is so much pressure. People don't think about the fact that many times we're not given a chance to make mistakes because there's so many people watching us that when we make a wrong decision, we feel lots of shame. And oh Jesus, I have been hiding a secret. And I feel like finally, if I just let it be known, then I'm gonna be taking control of it finally. I want people to know. I want to help others, and I don't want to hide from it. It's a part of me, and I want it to be known. That's basically my story as someone who has been sexually abused. It happened a really long time ago. I was a kid, and it was by a family member, and it basically broke up our family, which is why I'm only really close to my immediate family. I always thought that I couldn't let people know because then I wasn't the perfect example anymore. And I felt like I had to make up for it. I don't think people understand how hard it was to be so broken on the inside and trying to keep an image, trying to be a leader. And my parents never asked me to keep it a secret. If anything, they've told me it's your story to tell. And it is. It's my story, and I am tired of hiding. It's not something I should feel shame about. It's not something that identifies me. And I'm working on it because it's not something that you fix right away. But basically, last year was my hardest year by far. I decided that year I was not gonna care what people thought. I was gonna try and find out who I was without the pressure of, wait, but am I, like, is this, you know, what would he, she think? What would this be? Like, I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna try and figure out who I am. And so I decided to ignore what had happened. I avoided anything having to do with dealing with my situation. I just wanted a break, and I think I deserved that. To this day, I think that I don't regret having done that because I needed that break, and a lot of people didn't understand that. So many people think that they have a say in your life when in reality it's your life. And for me, being a Christian, that's just up to me and the Lord. The only person I will be held accountable to is the Lord. And I just kind of tried to find myself. And I made mistakes. I did. And some of them I regret. Nothing, you know, that I would consider extremely major. But just avoiding the fear of criticism and allowing myself to build friendships with others that maybe in the past I wouldn't have been friends with. Allowing myself to put other things as my priority for a little second, you know, and I lost a lot of friends. People, instead of asking you, people decide that they want to make their own opinions without knowing anything. And that is so horrible. You know, there are friends that I lost that knew my story, that knew what I was going through and told me they'd be there for me. And they chose to believe these rumors instead of just asking me. And things would have been so different had they asked me. Needless to say, I became very depressed. And I've struggled with depression on and off again for many, many years. But I didn't think that I should have to explain myself for things I knew I hadn't done, for things that I knew I would never do, because I love the Lord. And it sounds stupid. It sounds like, oh wow, I should love the Lord. Of course I wouldn't do that. But like, I can't. And if you know anything also about sexual abuse, you know that guilt is a huge thing. And I have held so much guilt for so long that I can't do things that I know I will regret, if that makes sense. I'm very cautious in the decisions I make. And so even though I allowed myself more freedom, I never did some of the things that were talked about, some of the things that people said, rumors that were spread, and it got really bad. I had to go to the doctor at one point because I wasn't taking care of my body. And so I had to get blood drawn and go through this whole process. And I learned that you think some people are there for you, and in reality, they may not be there for you. I've had a pretty rough time in college. Not as bad as it was in high school, because high school, no, never again. But I've had wonderful moments, wonderful friendships, and others that I regret, others that I am so hurt by. These 5 years, I have thought about dropping out of college so many times. Because sometimes it just became too much. And I put a lot of pressure on myself. If you guys don't know, I am graduating with 2 bachelors, a minor, and a master's in 5 years with a 4.0. And people see the accomplishment, but they don't see the struggles. That was where my worth was. My worth was found in my actions, in what I could do, in the perfection, in the image that I could create. And inside, I was so messed up, but on the outside, on what people saw, I was perfect. I was the person with everything all together, with, you know, the perfect daughter, the perfect student. And that is so far from the truth. Thinking back on everything, I just see how faithful the Lord was. And how many times I thought about giving up, and He just was there. And all the friendships that I lost, all the people that I was hurt by, and He was there to comfort me and to help me through everything. And through my silent struggles with anxiety, depression, suicide, and He was there. And now to be able to have it come full circle and get, you know, a degree and see how far I've come, how much I've grown. I'm so in love with the Lord, with His faithfulness, with the help that He's provided along the way. And I guess all this to say, the truth about pastors' kids, the truth about the pastoral families, we're not perfect. We have secrets, we have things we feel shame from, we have things we feel guilty for. We make mistakes. And yes, we are supposed to be leaders, examples. But I think that even in suffering, even in weakness, I think that that's where some of the greatest examples are. I want to help people that have been through the same thing, and I want them to find joy, because oh my goodness, this is the first semester that I have felt happy. Like, actually happy. I've seen how other people who aren't Christian will be like, oh, but she says she's Christian, she does that. That's not for you to look at. And I'm gonna say it, it's not fair. And believe me when I tell you that we try We try to be the best examples. We try to be the perfect vessels for the Lord to work through us, but it is not easy. I give my dad up for the church, and I should feel some sort of comfort from them. I should feel their love, not judgment, not criticism, not, hey, that skirt's a little too short. It does not give you access to our lives. We all have things we struggle with. We have things we feel shame for. But we also have a love for the Lord. And we want to share that love with you. And I'm just really happy. And I know it's hard to believe because I'm crying the whole video, but I just feel such happiness that the Lord has allowed me to come this far, that I was on the drive over here, I was just filled with so much anger towards how I view myself. What happened to me is not my identity. What happened to me is a point in my life, and I am ready to get past it. I'm ready to put it behind me. I am ready to help people who have been through the same thing. And it doesn't mean that I am now, whoa, like I've got it all figured out. Not even close. I struggle with PTSD. I have triggers. There's a lot that we deal with. But I think if anything, it makes us stronger. I was reading this book by Brian Johnson, and with this, I'm just gonna wrap it up because I've just been babbling. But it basically talks about how the Lord, when there is a war that's been going on for a really long time internally, and it's not just resolved in a day, it's because that's what the Lord is trying to strengthen you in. And it just, the Lord just changes everything for good. And I know that this is the area that the Lord wants me to be strengthened in, because I know that this is what the Lord wants me to do. And I have dreams of wanting to, speak out on this and help those that have been through the same thing or something similar, because the situation may be completely different, but the feelings, the emotions, you feel them, and many of them are very similar to one another. And I think that as a community, we could come together and just build each other up, not tear each other down, because you don't know what the person next to you has been through. You don't know what that person is going through. And I want to also provide you with hope that, the Lord loves you. Maybe you didn't go through sexual abuse. Maybe you went through physical abuse. Maybe you went through, I don't know, it could be whatever, some sort of trauma, or maybe your life's been perfect and you Gucci. Okay, cool, that's fine too. It doesn't matter what you've been through, or what kind of betrayal you felt, or what kind of sin you struggle with. The Lord loves you, and the Lord is there with you, and he's gonna help you get through it. I guess I felt so much gratitude that I just really needed to make this video. I just needed to, I guess, open up about what the Lord's done in my life and in my family, and the joy that I feel in having been called into the ministry. Feel free to reach out to me. Go to my Instagram, DM me. I'm here for you. If you feel alone, I'm here for you. If I've learned anything, is that people don't need judgment during this time. Any of these times, if you're, you need love. You need to know that someone's there for you, someone's there to support you, someone's there to hold your hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, our minds are weird. Sometimes it's one little thing and it feels like everything's crashing down, and I want to be able to be there for these people and to help be a friend. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'm so glad that I got to share this part of my life. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye.